Hi everybody, welcome to my homestead and welcome to my channel. In this video, I want to go over chapter 8 of the book of Revelation, specifically verses 8 and 9. So if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, like this video. If you end up liking it, make sure to share it and then leave your comments. So what happened was, I already put this out, but the problem was, so I had 17 people that watched it, but the problem was, unbeknownst to me, that there was audio going on in one of these tabs that I had open, and I couldn't hear it. But I guess with the program that I'm using, it was still playing the audio, so the audio was going from like a commercial from one of these websites over my voice. So I apologize about that, and I'm doing this over again. So what I wanted to do here was read a little bit out of this. So this is chapter 8, and it starts out, and when he had opened the seventh seal, there was silence in heaven about the space of a half hour. And I saw the seven angels which stood before God, and to them were given seven trumpets. So this is talking about the seventh seal. I'm not giving like a definitive anything about us being in the seventh seal, although I tend to think that we are. But I'm open to, the possibility that maybe we aren't. But anyway, after the seventh seal gets opened, you have these seven angels that sound their trumps, and certain things happen with each trump. So I'm focusing on this one here, the second angel. So it says, and the second angel sounded, and as it were, a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea. Yeah, so I don't know if that's referring to like a volcano. I'm not going to look into that too much. The thing about this, you guys, is that when the things happen in scripture, I'm not so sure that we're always going to know what happens as it happens. We'll probably find out after the fact. For all anyone knows, maybe there was like a volcano that's already erupted, and it was different from other volcanoes and had this kind of effect on the ocean, or maybe it's not talking about a volcano. Maybe it's talking about something else. I went to the Institute and the seminary manuals, and they did not expand on this at all. I don't think that there's like an official church interpretation of these things. So I'm not going to like get into it too much. Who knows what this means? But what I can say is it looks like this right here might be happening. That's the point of my video, and I'll show you in just a second. So mountain burning with fire was cast in the sea, and the third part of the sea became blood. So probably meaning that there was death, right? Because in verse 9 it says, and the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died, and the third part of the ships were destroyed. I personally, when I read these things, like when it says the third part, I do not take that literally as meaning 33%. The reason why is because we had Elder Lund that came to my mission, and he was talking about the pre-existence and how, a third part of heaven followed Satan. And this was probably just his opinion, but he said that, that probably doesn't mean that exactly 33.333% of people followed Satan, but rather a third part. So that could be, it may not be a fraction. It may be, three groups, and the third part of three different groups followed Satan. So when it says a third, the third part, I'm not necessarily looking at this as a fraction. It could be, but this comes up a lot. This whole idea of like a third part, it comes up a lot in the book of Revelation. So anyway, those are my thoughts on that. Now, so if we are in the seventh seal, then these things probably already are happening. And I tend to think that they are. Now, look at this. Now, you may already be aware of this, because if you follow channels like the Two Preachers and Jason A, and there's others, there's people that do a really good job grabbing those like news stories about these different things that are happening in nature, disasters and animals dying and space weather and stuff like that. So I'll put those two channels in the description below so you can check that out. But they do a pretty good job at following everything that's going on right now that seems to be biblical in nature. And one of those things is there's a lot of sea life that's been dying the last little while. So I'm going to go over here to the video that I've made private, and I'm just going to go through all the all the articles that I found. Now, I could have kept going, honestly. Uh, First, I did just like a basic search. It pulled up something from 2011 and then a bunch of stuff from this year. But then after that, I narrowed it down by year. So I did like 2019, I did 2018 and 2017. I didn't do 2020 for some reason. I guess I just forgot to do that. But um, just take a look. Okay, so we'll start with the first link here. This is in Los Angeles, or in California anyway. This is in the LA Times. Millions of dead fish at King Harbor in Redondo Beach. This is March 8th, 2011. Now, I'm going to say off the bat that some of these have explanations, some of them don't. In fact, there's a large portion of them, of all these stories, where they don't have an explanation. Other ones, they do have an explanation, things like red tide, where you have an unusual amount of algae that grows and it's like toxic to other sea life and it kills them. And there's other things too. There are some where basically the water has become like depleted of oxygen, and so it kills off the marine life that's in that area. And it seems like temperatures actually have an effect on that. So with the climate changing, with the world getting warmer, and I'm not one of those, so don't worry, but I do think that it is in fact getting warmer. That might be part of it. So whatever the case, whether we know the reason or whether we don't, that doesn't mean that it doesn't have to do with this right here, with Revelation 8 and 9, or Revelation 8 verses 8 and 9. Okay, just because we may know what it is, it doesn't mean that it's not fulfilling this right here. So first we have this was back in March 8th, 2011. That just pulled up off of the first search that I did. But all the rest of them are going to be from 2017 on. So we got that. We have this right here. The Tico Times, Costa Rica. Thousands of dead fish wash up from Gulf of Nicoya. And then here's the picture. Look at all those dead fish. You know, okay, so let's continue on from there. So that, let's see, that was Nicoya. Okay, now we're in Kentucky, and Tennessee. I think this is like on the border, what happened here. So the Tennessean, stinky, rotting fish are polluting Kentucky and Barkley lakes. And there they are. Okay. All right. So we've been to California, Costa Rica, Kentucky, and Tennessee. Here's one from New Jersey. Dead fish wash up along shore of Jersey Shore Park. All right. Let's see. Now we're in Washington, and I think this is Washington State, if I remember right. Huge fish die off in Washington's Puget, or I think that's how it's pronounced, Puget Sound, blamed on hot weather. And that's where we're talking about the fish died from a lack of oxygen, because it would seem that hot weather, I guess, does that to the water. So here they are, you know, a bunch of, these are anchovies. Okay, so we got that. Let's see, video. Sorry, let me rearrange some of these tabs here. Video, thousands of fish wash up dead in river channel in Matagorda, Texas. So now it's not just in the ocean, it's in a river. I guess there's video here. Now I'm going to put all these same links in this video so you can go and verify this yourself. And like I said, some of them they know the reason. Some of them they say, oh no, this happens from time to time, which that could be true. Some of them probably are just like common occurrences, but other ones, like I said, they can't explain. And other ones, it's because of hotter weather. And other ones, it's because of unusual amounts of algae that, there's like one of these articles that talked about how red tide does happen, but like in this particular case, it was like way more than usual. So anyway, so there's this one here from Texas, and it's in a river. Okay, fish kill. If it'll load, fish kill. Biologists explain why fish are dead by the hundreds at lake off of Ozarks. So the Ozarks, that's like in Missouri, Arkansas. I think there's like a little bit that's in Oklahoma and Texas, but I think the Ozarks are primarily in Missouri, so that's happening there. Okay. What's here? Dead fishing crabs wash up on shore off Wolfe's Pond Park. This is Staten Island, New York. Dozens of dead fish and horseshoe crabs were found washed up on the shore from Wolfe's Pond Park to Lemon Creek in Prince's Bay on Wednesday. This is June 14th, 2017. Okay, dead seabirds. This is in New England. Dead seabirds washing ashore on New England beaches. This is August 9th, 2017. Let's see, unknown. Let's go here. Unknown contaminants likely to blame for dead fish at Swanpool. This is in the United Kingdom. This story right here. Keep doing that. Thousands of tiny fish have been mysteriously washing up on Crinnis Beach in St Austell. So that, I think that's the Caribbean. This is August 28th, 2017. And here's the picture of it. Here's the picture of it. All right. Tragic pictures show thousands of dead fish floating down a river. So here we are in a river again. So now we've been talking about lakes, we've been talking about rivers, we've been talking about the ocean, where you have a lot of sea life that's just dying. And again, some of them, it's unclear why it's happening. Now this is in Paraguay. So now we have been in Europe, we have been in North America, we've been in the Caribbean. Now we're in South America, where this is happening here, this story. And we're still in 2017, October 2017. Okay, what's this one? As soon as it pulls up. Tons. It's talking about literal tons. Tons of dead fish wash up on Hua Hin Beach. This is Bangkok Post. So here's a new continent. So now we have Asia, Southeast Asia in the mix. And this is in 2017, 17 October 2017. There's the picture. My goodness. Okay, what about this one? Okay. Thousands of dead fish without any eyes found washed up on a beach in Pintamare, Italy. So now we're back in Europe, this time in southern Europe. Weird. And this is in December 21st, 2017. Okay. What about this one? More dead fish wash ashore in Kitty Hawk. And this is the Virginia Pilot. Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. So here is another one. There's the picture, just a bunch of fish on the beach. Okay, what about this one? Now this is April. Oh, I didn't get the date on the last one, but I think that the last one was in 2018. So this is April 9th, 2018. Dead fish are littering Iron Decoy. I think that's how you pronounce that. Iron Decoy Bay and Erie Canal. So, okay. Thousands of fish dead from a viral infection and cold water stress are littering the open waters and shore to Iron Decoy Bay in part of Erie Canal. Spring die-offs of fish are not uncommon, and the pathogen that causes viral hemorrhagic septicemia has been seen before, but this year's outbreaks appear to be especially bad. So here's one of those things where it's, it's not uncommon, but it's especially bad right here in 2018. I still think that that's significant. Oh my gosh, look at this. More than 2.7 million pounds of dead fish removed from Florida beaches so far. This one I happen to know it is due to the red tide, but like this was one of those times where it hit really bad, and there are just endless articles from all these different coastal cities of Florida that this affected. You can find all sorts of articles from all over. August 13th, 2018. 2.7 million pounds. Jeez Louise. Okay, what about this? Dead fish continue to wash up on Old Orchard Beach for the second day. This is in Maine. So this is back up in New England, but instead of down by Massachusetts, it's up in Maine. What's the date on this? September 1st, 2018. Okay. Here's one, Cape Cod, so that's Massachusetts. Thousands of fish found dead, stranded on Cape Cod Beach. This is on September 4th. So I don't know if there's a link between the Maine story from Maine or in this one or not, but it's around the same time. Okay, thousands of fish found at Cape. Okay, thousands of tons of freshwater carp turn up dead in Iraq's Euphrates River. So we were already in Asia, but that was Southeast Asia. Now we're in the Middle East, and this is in another river. So, and by the way, the Euphrates is mentioned in the Book of Revelation. I don't think it's mentioned in chapter 8. I don't believe. Let me take a look. No, it's not in chapter 8. It may have no connection with what we're reading right here in verses, what was it again, 8 and 9. But it's still interesting, because it's like one of those classic places that you read about in the Bible, the Euphrates River. So thousands of tons of freshwater carp. Jeez. Oh, okay. Okay, now mass fish deaths at Rockingham Beach cite a mystery as other fish unaffected. Okay, this is Wednesday, 6th of February, 2019. This is in Western Australia. So this is now in another continent. We have now hit up except for Africa, we've hit up all the continents. Well, Africa and Antarctica, of course. Australia, look at the picture. Look at the picture here. Okay, mass fish. Okay, here's another one. Thousands of dead fish wash up in Shore Town. This is March 18th, 2019. This is in New Jersey. Here you go. There's the picture. All right, what's the next one? A record 1,100 dead dolphins wash up on French beaches. This is March 29th, 2019. 1,100 dead dolphins in France. My gosh. Dolphins. It's a bunch of different species that are being birds, dolphins, fish, anchovies, which are a type of fish. Okay. Volunteers reportedly find hundreds of dead animals in Galveston. They say that animals include dolphins, sea turtles, pelicans, and birds, but some Galveston officials are refuting that. If you want more details on that, you'll need to read this article, but it looks like something died. That was like marine life. This is April 25th, 2019. Okay. Okay, what's this next one? Why have thousands of fish washed up in southern Spain? Oh my gosh. Daniel, are you out there? You watching this, buddy? That's my friend from the Spain-Barcelona mission. He lives in Spain. He's Spaniard. Okay, so Spain too. 18th of October, 2019. Okay, what about this one? Load. Please load. Okay, at least 600 tons of dead fish have washed up along Tampa Bay's shore. So here it is. There's that picture. This one's talking about red tide. All right, and it looks like this is the last one, an Al Jazeera article. Thousands of dead fish wash up in Rio de Janeiro lagoon. So here it is. It's another. This time it's in a lagoon. So we've had lakes, we've had rivers, we've had oceans, and now lagoons. And this is another one for South America. Yep. Biologists believe that extreme heat is the culprit. All right. So you know, again, I don't know. I don't know if this is being fulfilled. Um, but like I said, there was no shortage of articles. I couldn't include them all in this. Now, admittedly, I have not done like a comprehensive study of everything that's happened before 2017, so I don't know how common a lot of this is, but um, from the sense that I get from these articles, a lot of these things are unprecedented, or they're worse than before, or they're just flat out mysterious. So if they're mysterious, then obviously it's not like a common thing. So I do get the sense that a lot of this is new, or it's worse than before. Um, so, if the second angel isn't sounding his trump right now, if this isn't the result of this, then this will be really, really bad. However, I don't think that that's the case. I think that this is how prophecy unfolds. I think that it comes about by pretty, uh, a lot of times in an unspectacular or inspectacular way. You know, you wouldn't really know about this happening unless you did what I just did and you're watching all the news, you're doing like a specific search for it. It's not like the main story in the news. So you don't like go to your favorite media outlet, go to their main page and have this show up where it's like, oh my gosh, 1/3 of all the Earth's fish have died. Or, because I think we shouldn't assume that it's all going to happen all at the same time, it could take place over a couple decades, uh, in various locations and in various ways. But it would seem to me that a very large amount of sea life is dying. And how much has happened that we don't know about? There could be dead fish, out in the Pacific that nobody even knows about, right? Like, we don't necessarily have to be the audience to all this happening. Um, a lot of times I think when prophecy happens, the majority of people don't know that it's happened. You don't know about it until after the fact, you know. No one knew really. Like if you were in Europe back at the time of Joseph Smith, it's not like you knew at that time that the first vision had happened, that Elijah had come back, that Moses had returned to the Kirtland, in the Kirtland Temple. You didn't know. Nobody knew. Hardly anybody knew except for those that were like intimately involved. Those early saints. They were the only ones that knew. Um, so I think there's a lot of things that happen and we're not aware of it. And when we read scripture, we think that it's, we're going to see it all. It's going to be, all over the news, and we're going to have front row seats, and we'll eat popcorn and watch it. And I don't think that that's the case. I could very easily see this fulfilling, or this right here fulfilling this. Okay. That's just what I think. I'm not going to say that that is the case, absolutely, but I feel like it's a pretty good candidate, right? This is one reason why I think that we very well could be in the seventh seal. Um, a lot of people, it all comes down to interpretation. Some people take this a lot more literally, or they think that they have it all figured out, and this has to happen first, and then this happened. I don't think that you can really do that. I think that you can read it that way. That's one way you can read things, but a lot of times it's up to interpretation. But anyway, those are my thoughts about it. Let me know what you think. Put it in the comments below. Make sure to share this. I think that there's more too. I'm probably going to do another video right after this talking about fire, because it talks a lot about fire mingled with blood and trees being burnt up. Do you get the sense that maybe that's been happening too? We've had, especially this year and last year, we've had lots and lots of wildfires. That's going to be, that's going to be the next video that I do, because I'm aware of like some pretty major wildfires that have been going on the last couple of years. So, yeah, I'll end it there. So if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, like this video if you liked it, leave your comments with what you think, and make sure to share this on your social media. And I'll talk to you guys later.